Step into the haunting realm of Duskwood, brave travelers, and embrace the eerie allure of its darkened woods and mist-shrouded trails. As the lawmaster of Duskwood, I extend my hand to you, ready to guide you through this mysterious land where shadows dance and whispers echo. Prepare yourself for tales of ancient curses, haunted graveyards, and restless spirits, for Duskwood is a place where the line between the living and the dead becomes blurred. Duskwood has not always borne its sinistrous name. Originally known as Brightwood, it was home to a lush and vibrant forest, much like the neighboring Elwynn Forest. Centuries before the outbreak of the First War, the human kingdom of Stormwind thrived in the Eastern Kingdoms. The surrounding fertile regions prospered as well, and the area became known as Southern Elwynn Forest, where small towns like Grand Hamlet and Raven Hill emerged in these bountiful times. In those days, while under the protection of Stormwind, the population thrived with a diverse array of professions that sustained the lands. Many were skilled farmers, cultivating fertile fields to produce harvests that fed both the locals and the surrounding regions. Blacksmiths were highly regarded for crafting fine weapons and armor, and loggers played a vital role in harvesting timber from the dense forests, supporting construction and trade. But as the First War swept across the lands, War Chief Blackhand's forces plunged the human populace into despair, pillaging vast territories under the banner of Stormwind City, razing its villages to the ground and mercilessly slaughtering their inhabitants. Tragedy struck again when the death of Medivh, the fallen guardian who met his demise in Deadwind Pass, forever changed the continent. His undoing unleashed the fell energies that cursed the surrounding lands. Years later, after the Third War, the night elf Valinda Starsong, bearing the scythe of Elwynn, sought refuge in the already tainted forest of Brightwood, but met her end at the hands of the Vorgan Varkas. The scythe brought forth a curse, shrouding the woods in a blanket of eternal darkness. This dense fog marked the end of a grim transformation, unleashing the Worgen menace onto these fields and giving rise to the nightmarish realm now known as Duskwood. The vile necromancer Morbent Fell became the harbinger of undead scourge in Duskwood, and the once peaceful creatures like the spiders that dwelled in Elwynn Forest mutated into monstrous predators. Now armed with deadly acidic venom, these unnaturally large spiders stalk unwary wanderers who dare to venture into the terrifying forests Duskwood has become. Today, Duskwood remains a realm of mysteries, enveloped in a haunting curse that refuses to release its grip. The people of this land have learned to navigate the relentless terrors of the undead and Worgen. However, akin to a solitary candle flickering in the night, hope endures as they labor to reclaim the woods to their former glory, bringing an end to the eternal darkness. So come, join me on a journey through these sinister lands as we explore the chilling mysteries that define this forsaken realm. Within the heart of the Eastern Kingdoms, situated between the imposing presence of Deadwind Pass, the desolate farm fields of Westfall, and the vibrant jungles of Stranglethorn Vale, Duskwood has become a forsaken domain of the Alliance. Once a place of beauty and tranquility, basking in the same embrace of Elwynn Forest, Duskwood is now a region shrouded in an everlasting twilight, haunted by malevolent forces. Duskwood's landscape is a stark contrast to its former glory. The once lush forests have become gnarled and twisted, and an eerie black fog clings to the woods, casting a perpetual night over the land. The darkness that blankets the land has a will of its own. An oppressive mist can descend without warning, further disorienting any already unnerving travelers. Rolling hills and valleys are interspersed with abandoned farmsteads, reminders of the families who once tilled these lands. The most remarkable geographical feature is the ancient volcano crater, home to one of the great trees and a gateway into the mystical realm of the Emerald Dream. Despite the region's lack of direct sunlight, the crater is bathed in a unique twilight, teeming with life. Nevertheless, within the pervasive darkness, Duskwood is home to an array of dangerous life and unlife. Vicious wolves and monstrous spiders roam the shadowy woods with gleaming eyes and an unnatural hunger. Ghouls claw their way through the earth, their wretched forms seeking flesh to feast upon. Mindlessly they roam, while ghostly apparitions drift through the fields and graveyards, wailing mournfully through the night, reminding those still breathing of the lives lost to the darkness. Tales from the locals speak of Stitches, a monstrous abomination that stalks the woods, a creation of dark necromancy gone awry. His grotesque form and lumbering gait have become a symbol of terror for the town, and even seasoned adventurers approach with caution. Many a traveller has been caught off guard by his sudden appearance on the road. Darkshire is the most prominent human settlement in Duskwood, inhabited by a small but resilient community. Now that the authorities and the Stormwind army have abandoned the region, the stubborn citizens of Duskwood are left to fend for themselves, as the skies above them remain in a constant state of twilight. Beyond the paths to the west lies Ravenhill Cemetery. Countless graves within the cemetery hold the remains of those who have fallen victim to the horrors that have plagued these lands since the darkness fell, their memories preserved in the cold, solemn stones that mark their resting places. Despite being long betrayed and abandoned by Stormwind City, a beacon of hope still flickers, and the people of Duskwood remain defiant. The Night Watch, a stalwart local militia, valiantly dedicates itself to maintaining the safety of this realm. With unwavering courage, they strive to keep the winding roads free from the sinister forces that relentlessly threaten to engulf the land. It is here where the shadows dance and stories told under the inhabitants whisper of unspeakable horrors. As the mysteries of this twisted land unfurl, it is crucial to tread with caution, for danger lurks around every corner, and the shadows themselves may yet reveal their disturbing truths. Let us tread into Duskwood, where our adventure is only just beginning. As the group of explorers step beyond the safety of Elwynn Forest boundaries, they enter the realm of Duskwood, where an unsettling chill runs down their spines. The very air here feels thick and tainted, heavy with a sinister foreboding. Whispers of the legend of Stalvan have long haunted these woods, a tale of a man consumed by darkness in a land where the sun never truly rises, cloaking everything in perpetual twilight. In the moonlit village of Darkshire, the adventure begins. With troubled eyes, Madame Eva, a wizened fortune-teller, beckons the group of adventurers closer. She shares her premonition that her granddaughter, Alyssa Eva, is in imminent danger. Her only clue is the name Stalvan, a name that is met with terror and suspicion by the citizens. Determined to get to the bottom of the mystery, the adventurers begin their investigation in the town's library, leading them to Clerk Daltrey, the keeper of records in Darkshire. Daltrey pores over the many scrolls and dusty tomes until he uncovers a mention of Stalvan Mistmantle. The records state that he resided at the abandoned Moonbrook Schoolhouse, a place now overrun by the Defier's Brotherhood. As the clerk scrambles through the pages once more, he uncovers another entry for Stalvan, this time hinting at his appearance in the Lion's Pride Inn in Goldshire. The adventurers' curiosities piqued, and they take the pages to Commander Althea Ebenlock, a figure of authority in Darkshire. She identifies the handwriting on the journal records and explains that Stalvan is guilty of multiple heinous crimes, including the murder of his unanswered love and her entire family. The adventurers are horrified, accepting the grim charge to bring him to justice. Stalvan's haunt, an old manor just north of Darkshire, becomes their next destination. Surrounded by the undead, they engage in a fierce battle, the air filled with the screams of the ghouls and the steel clang of weapons to reach Stalvan. It is a brutal and challenging fight, but in the end, the brave souls defeat him, bringing an end to his dark tale. The group recovers the Mistmantle family ring from the lifeless body of Stalvan, and upon their heroic return to Darkshire, present Madame Eva with the ring, proof of his undoing. After gaining a chilling insight into Stalvan's tragic story, the group of explorers finds themselves standing at the outskirts of Darkshire. Feeling the weight of the secrets that swirl around them, the adventurers decide to delve deeper into the tales of Duskwood. Their next destination awaits, the Tranquil Cemetery, a place of contrasting expectations located south of the town they had just left behind. Its name seemed ironic, especially given the tales of spirits and unsettling phenomena that are whispered about in hushed voices. Despite the looming presence of the undead, the church and the graveyard have remained relatively intact over the years, their stones and walls a testament to a time when peace might have truly mirrored the cemetery's name. As they venture towards the cemetery, the atmosphere grows colder, and the air thickens with an otherworldly aura, almost as if the very land breathes a warning to those who tread upon it. The moon casts a faint glow upon the tombstones, and the wind carries with it the mournful whispers of the departed. The Tranquil Cemetery was, in essence, a training ground for the Night Watch, where initiates honed their skills by dispatching the undead that roamed these forsaken grounds. Here, the undead were the weakest in all of Duskwood, and less of a direct threat in comparison to the horrors that lurk deeper within the forest. Among the shadows of this graveyard, legends spoke of the insane ghoul, a menacing entity that could be found either lurking within the ruins of the church or prowling the cemetery's perimeter. A little further lies a decaying home known as Blind Mary's Haunt. This old farmhouse is home to the spectral wraith of Blind Mary, a banshee who once walked among the living. Long ago, she was a vision of beauty, but her life met a tragic end at the hands of Duskwood's undead. Now, Blind Mary is a tortured soul, her ethereal form wandering the desolate farmhouse that bears her name. Mary's anguish is born of her monstrous transformation, a fate she abhors. Consumed by depression and anger, she resorted to a horrifying act of self-mutilation, tearing out her own eyes with her bare hands. It was an act of desperation, a grotesque bid to escape the mirror's damning reflection of her changed self. In her agony, she cast away her precious looking glass, a symbol of all she had lost. Leaving behind the cemetery and the sorrowful tale of Mary, the adventurers come across the infamous rotting orchard. This was once a place of serenity and fruitfulness, but has since been overrun by cursed forces that have taken root in this forsaken land. The orchard's gnarled trees and crumbling structures are no longer the abode of life, but have been claimed by the ravenous worgen of the Nightbane pack, who emerged with the shadows, lurking in the absence of light. Amongst the dilapidated buildings, Nightbane shadow weavers practice their dark magic. Nightbane dark runners are the vigilant sentinels of the farm fields, preying upon unsuspecting and ill-prepared travelers who venture too close. Their pack leader, known as Gutspill, prowls the periphery, guarding the domain with a savage determination that rivals the darkness itself. It falls on the shoulders of the Night Watch to cull the worgen population and assert control over their unnatural invasion of Duskwood. To the east of the rotting orchard, where moonlight barely dares to tread, lies Roland's doom. This mine, shrouded in tales of death, is the very place where the night elven priestess Valinda Starsong met her tragic end. Valinda was a skilled druidess who discovered the scythe's mysterious potential to transcend time and space. As she gripped the weapon's twisted branch, her mind was thrust into a chaotic vision. She saw the worgen, wolf-like men of savage might, locked in a struggle against the relentless satyrs known as the Lords of the Emerald Flame. This revelation uncovered the scythe's true power, the ability to communicate with and summon the worgen. In the darkened woods of Duskwood, Valinda's quest took a sinister turn. While ambushed at Roland's doom, a violent explosion claimed her life, entombing the scythe within a hidden cave. It was there in the shadows that the scythe waited for a new master. By fate or folly, a member of the Defias Brotherhood unwittingly stumbled upon its ancient power, releasing the worgen upon Duskwood. Even more so, the scythe's allure extended far beyond this land. attracting the attention of sinister forces like the Dark Riders of Deadwind Pass, who would claim this power for their own dark intentions. The group of adventurers recognized the role the Scythe of Elwynn might still have to play within these haunted woods. With shared glances of determination, they agree to leave this ominous place behind and continue onward on their expedition. As they journey deeper into the heart of Duskwood, the forest paths lead them towards the Twilight Grove. This ancient and long-dead volcano crater is a reminder of the forces that shaped the land and the eons that have passed since its fiery eruption. 4.5 millennia before the Dark Portal would come to shape Azeroth's destiny, a group of night elves led by Fandral embarked on a secretive mission. Their objective, to harvest the enchanted branches from Nordrassil. These 6 mystical boughs, carefully severed, held immense power. Carrying them, Fandral and his followers journeyed across the world, seeking locations where Saronite deposits had emerged, one of which was a remote Eastern Kingdoms region that would later bear the name Duskwood. Here they planted one of the branches, and it swiftly took root, becoming a new tree of its own, a bulwark against the creeping influence of Saronite that seeps into the land. As they ventured deeper into the grove, whispers of ancient legends enveloped the explorers. Tales of the Emerald Dream, a vast untouched realm of verdant forests and ethereal beauty mirroring Azeroth's very soul. This primordial territory, closely guarded by the green dragonflight and their leader, Ysera the Dreamer, touches the world of mortals through sacred portals. The Twilight Grove houses one such portal, a bridge between the tangible and the intangible, allowing those with a profound connection to nature, like the Druids, to enter this dreamlike domain. The Twilight Grove itself is a sanctuary in the midst of the foreboding forest. A massive, unnamed great tree stands at its center, its roots delving deep into the earth. Weary from their travels, the group halts for a fleeting instant to marvel at the serene beauty that contrasts so starkly with Duskwood's pervasive gloom. A moonwell shimmers with the tranquil light of the night elves, and a graceful gazebo offers a place for reflection beneath the canopy. Amidst the perils and horrors of Duskwood, the group of explorers finds a brief moment of respite within the Twilight Grove. Here, they can finally embrace the beauty of the place, taking a precious moment to catch their breath and restore their spirits. As the party of champions emerges from the Twilight Grove, their senses still tingle with the residual magic of the ancient forest. They soon find themselves at the precipice of the Vul'Gol Ogre Mound. This forsaken basin, overrun by the brutish splinter-fist ogres, bears the ominous name of their chieftain, Zarkvul. It nestles itself just southwest of the diverging path where the main road through Duskwood splits, one fork leading south into the jungles of Stranglethorn Vale. With a collective breath, explorers step forward where a fateful discovery awaits. Hidden in the ogre encampment, obscured by ogre filth, lies Abercrombie's crate. This box, seemingly innocuous, contains secrets far more sinister than any mere treasure. Its revelation evokes an unsettling sensation in their core and sets them on a treacherous path into the depths of necromancy. Abercrombie, a reclusive human hermit dwelling in the woods northeast of Ravenhill Cemetery, bears the title of the Embalmer. He was a kindly alchemist and respected citizen of Ravenhill, but he succumbed to madness brought about by the tragic loss of his beloved wife, Eliza. This grief twisted his mind, and driven by a desperate desire to reunite with her, Abercrombie delved into the forbidden arts of dark magic, implanting his own beating heart into the lifeless chest of his beloved spouse. The adventurers, armed with determination and a fervent desire to end the darkness plaguing Duskwood, draw closer to Abercrombie's dwelling. Each step they take seems to echo with the tragic love story that led to such dire consequences. As they approach his shack, they can hear the mournful howling of the wind, which seems to resonate with the anguish of a heart forever lost to darkness. The air grows colder and more oppressive with every step, and it's not long before their quest leads them to a shallow grave, a mound of freshly turned earth. Here, the wary adventurers sense the tragic culmination of Abercrombie's desperate act. To summon Eliza from her cursed slumber, they follow the cryptic instructions found in Abercrombie's crate. As the ritual unfolds, the earth trembles, and Eliza, once full of life and love, emerges, her hollow eyes now consumed by a relentless craving for flesh. The explorers, determined to end her torment, engage in a harrowing battle with the reanimated ghoul. Spells and blades clash against the dark magic that sustains her. The group, growing weary but resolute, finally land a decisive blow, freeing Eliza's spirit and exposing the still beating heart that fueled her cursed existence. Word of their brave deed reaches Lord Ello Ebonlock, Darkshire's vigilant mayor. Ebonlock, with eyes that have seen too much sorrow, has long grappled with the mysteries of Abercrombie's dark magic. As the adventurers relinquish the heart into Ebonlock's custody, a sense of closure settles over the group and the people of Duskwood. With a hint of weariness, the mayor admits that the mysteries of Duskwood run deeper than even he had known. He seeks to harness the heart's secrets for a better understanding of the lurking darkness that taints their land. In the northwestern corner of the forest, hidden away on the banks of the river dividing Elwynn Forest, Westfall and Duskwood, the brave travellers come across an outlying camp where they chance upon Sven Jorgen, a man marked by tragedy. Sven recounts the brutal raid by the Dark Riders from Deadwind Pass that claimed his family's lives while he was away. But that's not all. Sven had spotted a mysterious figure skulking around his barn, burying something. The adventurers feel compelled to investigate the matter and accept his request without hesitation, heading to the farm. There, beneath a pile of loose dirt, they unearth a journal, a cryptic tale of another soul plagued by troubles in this accursed land. This journal, it turns out, holds a key to unraveling the mystery surrounding the Dark Riders. Its author had discovered a cursed scythe in the ruins of Roland's doom, and only he escaped the carnage, bearing witness to the Dark Riders' relentless massacre of the remaining souls, Sven's very own family. Sven is eager to speak with this author, and the group sets out to uncover their identity. The journey takes them through Darkshire, where they learn that the writer of the journal was not a native, but the book had been purchased in town not long ago. The investigation leads to Clerk Daltrey in the courthouse. He remembers the sale of this particular journal to a shady, nervous buyer. The mystery deepens. With the inquiries in Darkshire exhausted, the explorers venture to Raven Hill. There, they encounter Jitters, a jittery soul who confesses to being the writer of the journal, but admits it is incomplete. Jitters hands the adventurers the remaining pages of the journal, who make haste to relay this revelation to Sven. As he reads the concluding pages, a chilling shiver runs down his spine. The Dark Riders are linked to Morbent Fell, the sinister wizard of Forlorn Row. Sven recognizes the gravity of the situation, and the final confrontation awaits. The necromancer's lair, Forlorn Row, lies to the east, atop a hill enshrouded in darkness. His undead minions guard him, and a magical barrier shields him from harm. As the adventurers set out on their mission to confront Morbent Fell, they quickly realized that this battle would be a war of attrition. The necromancer's dark magic and formidable defenses made it clear that a swift and decisive victory was unlikely. Instead, their strategy revolved around wearing down the necromancer's power and resolve over time. After a grueling fight, the group managed to break through Morbent Fell's magical defenses. The necromancer's sinister reign was brought to an end as his minions fell and his dark powers waned. With Morbent Fell's malevolent presence finally vanquished, a small band of adventurers have achieved what once seemed beyond hope. Courageously, they return to Sven, who experiences blended emotions, grief for his perished family and a sense of closure in the death of the Dark Wizard. With heartfelt gratitude, he thanks the adventurers, knowing that their names will forever be remembered in Duskwood's history. As the first rays of dawn try to pierce through the ever-present mists of Duskwood, the group of explorers make their way back to the Ravenhill Cemetery. Whispers of the haunting tales of the cemetery keep their senses alert, knowing all too well that daylight provides no true safety in these lands. Massive spiders and the lurking undead are never too far away, their presence feeling more than seen. Ravenhill Cemetery, with its vast stretches of gravestones and tombs, is a sight that not many dare to behold. In hushed voices, the explorers share stories they've heard about grave robbers who desecrate the grounds, ready to defend their morbid treasures at any cost. However, what most concerns the explorers is the entrance to the Dawning Woods catacombs that lies concealed in the cemetery's northeastern corner. Rumors paint the catacombs as a labyrinth where the strongest of the undead dwell. The eastern passageway opens up to reveal a chilling sight, a den teeming with ghouls, their diseased and ferocious appearances belying an unimaginable torment. The western entrance, on the other hand, leads to a grand hall where skeletons stand as if on guard, watching over the resting places of their kind. While the group navigates the catacombs, above ground the relentless figure of Mor'Ladim roams the graveyard. This armored skeleton is known to many, his very presence casts an aura of doom. As the explorers have learned from old books and scrolls, the once noble knight, Morgan Ladimor, is betrayed by his own heart and grief, turning him into the very evil he seeks to vanquish. The adventurers remember his tragic tale, recounting his return from war, the discovery of his family's graves, and his heart-wrenching descent into madness that culminates in his own violent end. Commander Althea Ebonlock's decree is clear. They must end Mor'Ladim's reign of terror, and the group prepares an ambush. They lie in wait near Mor'Ladim's gravestone, where he often pauses. When he finally appears, the air grows cold, and an unsettling stillness befalls the graveyard. The ensuing battle is brutal, Mor'Ladim's power is undeniable, and many valiant combatants have met their end by his sword. But the explorers' determination and unity prevail. With Mor'Ladim's defeat, a sense of peace envelops the cemetery. The explorers did not only confront the darkness of Duskwood, but also faced the haunting depths of grief and despair that can consume even the noblest of souls. With their task complete, the explorers leave Ravenhill Cemetery, their hearts heavy with the weight of their journey, but proud of the shadows they've overcome. As the tales of Duskwood come to a close, I, the Lawmaster of Duskwood, bid you a fond farewell. May the echoes of these haunting stories linger in your mind, and the courage of those who faced the darkness inspire your own journey. Until our paths cross again, in another tale and another time. Safe travels, brave wanderers of Azeroth, and remember, even in the darkest woods, there is always a glimmer of light.